Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to War Hospital. This is a new strategy game set during World War I, except we are not going to be fighting. Instead, as you can probably guess from the name of the game, we will be managing a British field hospital on the front lines in France. Now that already sounds intense, but you're going to find very quickly that this is a very delicate balancing act, as you have to manage scarce resources, personnel, and all the while deal with the imminent German invasion that could attack at any moment. Pretty interesting idea for a game. This is developed by Brave Lamb Studios and published by Nakin, who happen to be the sponsors for today's video, and of course a very big thank you to them for that. If as you watch this video you like what you see and you want to learn more, there will be that link in the description down below, and I would encourage you to click on that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start up a new game, though I should note that this game is broken up into 3 different chapters, because there is a story for this game, though I will not be spoiling that in this video. Alright, welcome to our war hospital. Let me pause the game real quick and I'll give you a very brief tour. We have wounded who will be arriving from the front, and they will be dropped off at this casualty clearing station. From here, we need to transport them over to the operating ward where our surgeons can stabilize them and then send them over to the rehabilitation center. Let's go ahead and go to the clearing station right now. We can see we have 1 doctor available, Aaron Clark, who is well rested and ready with no patients in his queue. And we have Tanny Pollard over here, who needs to be operated upon. So let's go ahead and drag him over, and as soon as the doctor's able to, he will take care of this patient. But we also need to be able to transport that patient from point A over to point B. This is where we come to our personnel assignment and see we have a number of different workers that are on our staff. Starting with the medical teams, these guys are basically like some stretcher carriers. We will use them to transport our patients around. So if we assign 1 person to the CCS, they'll pick up the patient and bring them to the operating suite, and then after the operation is successful, bring them to the rehab station where they can recover. Or, unfortunately, if the operation is unsuccessful, and that can very easily happen, we also can have a crew assigned to take them to the cemetery, which is a little bit morbid, but does unfortunately need to happen. If we go to the nurses section, we have 2 nurses currently available. Let's go ahead and assign 1 to the rehab center. We always need 1 over here, otherwise our patients can't recover. And we can also assign someone to the operating ward, and from here, they will be able to improve the effectiveness of our operations. Generally a very good thing. We've also got some engineers. These guys are going to produce resources for us and also construct improvements for our hospital. So for example, I have a pharmacy over here who's currently rubble. I want to go ahead and build this thing. So if we go to our improvements, we can see there are a lot of different ways that we can improve our hospital, including different ways of treating and improving the treatment of our patients, boosting up the housing for our staff, and also new production chains. In this case, I really want to get that pharmacy up and running, so let's go ahead and assign 2 engineers to go ahead and build this within the next 48 minutes. Then we'll reassign 1 to work in the pharmacy and start producing some equipment. Now, what equipment is that? Well, if you look down here at the bottom, we have a bunch of different resources to worry about. The most important right now are surgical equipment. You're going to use this for every patient that we try to stabilize, and different patients, depending on their wounds, are going to cost you more surgical supplies. We need a lot of this, like a lot. So having a pharmacy up and running producing it is nice. If we ever run out, we could go to this train station. From here, we could order some resources, like the surgical supplies, chemical medicine, trauma, food, alcohol, etc. This would cost us some military requisition forms, military drafts. We earn these as we heal our patients. These can get pretty expensive though. I'd rather not buy any of these if I can produce them locally. I'd rather save these for emergencies or upgrades, but we will see. We can also hire up some additional personnel, such as an extra surgeon or some extra engineers, an extra nurse or 2, etc. All of this is going to be very helpful. Let's go ahead and get the engineers and the extra nurse immediately. I don't have enough patients to need another surgeon, but we will eventually. Don't you worry. Anyway, with all that taken care of, what we should see is that some of our medical crews are going to immediately leave over here and go to the casualty station, pick up the patient, and then drop them over at the operating ward, where you can see this progress bar showing that the patient is being operated upon. Now, unfortunately, your first patient is always going to die, because this is where you learn that you need to have a cemetery team. That's unfortunate, but there we go. Unfortunately, this is going to happen. It is a field hospital after all. We have new patients. Let's go ahead and assign them. Ouch, these are terrible patients to have up front. Okay. We can try to save this guy. He's got 3 wounds, which means his condition is going to deteriorate very quickly. So that's why we see this as serious. He would cost us 6 of our supplies in order to heal up, a 6-hour surgery. Not going to take a ton of energy from our doctor, but it's going to be very difficult and likely to fail. We can try, or we could do some triage and say we don't have the time or the resources to spare. We can send you to the denied box. Now, you might wonder why you'd ever do this. Well, if they're in the denied box and you've kind of accepted you're not going to heal this person, it's not going to have as much of a morale penalty when the person dies. That said, we'll give this one a go, and then I want to try to save the stable patient as well, who is far more exhausting but much more likely to survive. Let's give that a go. Now, you can see here that our doctor is going to become exhausted after the second patient. And the more of these stars that are over here, the more of their energy gets taken up, right? So what we can do is then say, after this, rest, right? So our doctor is going to go off shift and then rest up, and that's going to take a few hours. Kind of a bit of a weird balancing act, though. If you have some patients who are in serious conditions, sometimes you need to have exhausted doctors working on them. But if they ever collapse on the job, well, you're kind of out of luck, aren't you? So trying to manage the well-being of your personnel and keeping them ready to go is a very important aspect of the game. Now, let's see, the pharmacy over here is built. Let's go ahead and assign, I guess, just one engineer here for now. I'd like to go to improvements in housing and then go ahead and get the staff lodging basic amenities. This reduces the rest time needed by 10%, and considering this is going to be one of my biggest bottlenecks in the game for all staff, I'd like to improve on this as fast as we can. Now, that's going to cost me some of my requisitions, some time, and also a resource over here called freight, which will start building up over time. We also use freight to produce things like some of our surgical supplies, food, etc. So you want to have a lot of this on hand. Now, every once in a while, you're going to have something pop up over here, a little exclamation point which says something is up. Looks like the bullet passed right through this patient's body without causing major damage. His chances of survival are much higher. Well, I'm glad I didn't give up on this guy. All right, instead of a 5-star difficulty, it's now only a 2-star difficulty. His odds of surviving just skyrocketed. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, what else do we have to worry about? Well, here's a cemetery down over here. Here's a warehouse where we can store our goods, and I assume this can get full at some point. Yes, it can. Let's see, we also have a canteen over here. This is where we could feed our staff. You can control their rations if we're ever having some food issues, and I imagine as the war continues, we're going to find ourselves in a bit of a situation later on. This is where producing my own food would probably be a very good idea. But for right now, we're looking kind of fine on food, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's go to the operating ward and get another improvement. I'd like to get an X-ray up and running. 25% increased chance of an operation success. Seems like a really good idea to pick up early and save as many patients as we can. Great, more patients appear to be arriving over here. Okay, yep, that is happening. Still haven't dealt with our first patient yet, but that's okay. Let's take a quick look and see if people are in good condition. They are. So we can go ahead and put them in the queue, but they're likely to survive for at least a while. Not too much to worry about yet. So does our first patient survive? Yes! Oh my gosh, we could have given up on you, but we didn't. I feel like a hero. Now it's going to be taken over to the Rehabilitation Center, and in a few hours, he can be discharged. If we go inside here, we can actually see his file. Now here's where we get to make some fun little decisions. We can decide we are going to send this guy back to the trenches and defend the hospital specifically. Because, yeah, the Germans can and will attack us. So that's a thing. You can see these chevrons over here. If there are some red chevrons, that actually indicates the combat power of this character. If there are black ones, it says he's injured to the point where he can't really be very helpful. We could send him back to the military HQ where he can be reassigned. This is how we gain military drafts, so that we can get some additional resources. So this is very important to do. And also, we could just release them from duty. By doing this and discharging them and sending them back to England, we get some morale back. Now, that's important mainly because if your morale ever gets down to 0%, you lose the game. So don't let that happen. Yep, that was a successful operation. Good, excellent. Now, make sure you're periodically going through here and checking on your staff. You can take a look at them individually and just see these different people and see who's well-rested, who is rested, who is tired, who's exhausted and about to collapse, and all of that stuff. Also, some characters are going to have some traits, like this one is strict, decreases morale when not working. But when working, it just goes up. So that's nice. Also, this person prefers to work in the operating ward, I believe, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, keep an eye on these guys. What we can do is actually go to these assignments here, and the color behind them tells you whether they are rested or well-rested or what. So blue means they're well-rested. They can get assigned and all is well. Gray means they're, just rested, but they're getting tired over time. If it ever gets down into the orange color, that's when you know you really need to pull people off of their job and go and let them do something else, right? So like we can go ahead and assign this person here, and then we'll go ahead and disassign this person after they finish dropping off the patient. Now they can go ahead and rest for 3 hours and so on. So make sure you keep taking care of your personnel. Balance this. It's just as important, if not more important, than your resources. More patients are arriving. Okay, this is where I go to the train station and think maybe we want to go ahead and get our second surgeon. Now, the larger your staff is, of course, the more food and stuff you have to spend in order to take care of them. But in this case, I think it's well worth it. Having a second surgeon who's able to take care of people would be very, very beneficial. Fortunately, it looks like we have people who are currently in good condition, so I'm not too worried about them. They'll be fine. What are some other improvements that might be worth picking up early on? We could get the advanced dressing station. That's more important once we do get attacked by the Germans. We can go ahead and unlock the shift system. That could be a thing once our staff is a lot bigger. Might be worth trying to boost up how quickly our pharmacy works so that it is able to get us some medical supplies a little bit faster. The more we stock up, probably the better. And we have another patient. All right. Doctor needs another hour and a half of sleep. Then his alarm goes off and he gets back to the job. Don't worry, I know you guys are in like crippling pain. You'll be fine. This guy's like the best in the land. And if he's not, I got a lovely cemetery for you to tour over here. All right, new HQ orders. Yep, this is the big thing of Chapter 1. The HQ is gathering forces and regrouping for a counteroffensive on the 21st of June. We must survive German attacks on our own until that day. It is currently June 7th, so that's a while to wait. We can see here that we will be getting attacked in a few days by the Germans. This currently says we do not have enough soldiers to defend. This is where it is important that we go to our rehab center and assign people who are combat ready to actually try to defend us. We could do this, for example. They're not very strong, but having a couple of people assigned would be enough to repel this next attack. So we'll go ahead and do exactly that. But you can also imagine over time, the waves are going to get more and more dangerous. This green icon suggests we don't have enough to necessarily repel this combat a few days after the first one. So we're going to have to continue ramping up our defenses. But that means less requisition forms and less morale. The more we save, obviously, the better, right? Because that means more people to get us resources and to defend ourselves. But yeah, again, like I said, delicate balancing act. It would probably be helpful to get things like the advanced dressing station. This is where we are going to have some people get stabilized in the trenches before they get transported to the operating ward. And speaking of which, actually, we can go to the trenches right here. Here they are. These are the trenches. Not a lot we necessarily need to do over here that I'm aware of. Maybe I haven't gotten far enough in the game and there are some events and stuff that can happen here. But otherwise, mostly this is just where you see your people who have been cured and where they're kind of ready in order to defend when the attack eventually does come. We're, again, not fighting. All we're doing is saving lives and letting the soldiers do their jobs while we do ours. Let's go ahead and unlock the ability to start producing some food. I can see that being a very good use of my engineer's spare time if they have any. Oh, no. More patients. Ah! Right, because I can totally carry more people. I've now got 10 patients that are waiting for surgery. Oh, this is why I wanted to reduce the rest time, by the way. Because I really need more people ready to operate. At 7 hours, with this person in serious condition and a high difficulty, I hate to say it, but I think this person is going to die. I'm going to have to make a triage call here. What are some other things we need? Amputation tools, probably. Allow for the performing of amputations. Not exactly pleasant, but in rare cases, it could save a life. It does mean that if that happens, the patient is unfit for duty, though. So you won't be able to send them to the trenches, which makes perfect sense. It'd be cruel to try, right? I'm actually surprised how many people we're saving right now. I know full well I just jinxed it. Because I'm not kidding. When I did a test game of this, this exact situation's happened. And I've had when I just got so many unlucky rolls in a row, and the person we did assign to die just died here, so that's unfortunate. And I ended up having like 10 people dead and only 3 people saved. It was awful. So it's like, okay, that sucks, but it does show there's a certain element of randomness in this game. Now, one thing I have not experienced yet... Oh, someone did die in the operation. Boom. So there we go. We lose a little bit of morale. All right. One thing I have not experienced yet in this game from my playtesting, I haven't gotten quite far enough, is going to be things like the chemical ward and the trauma ward, where we can get some other specialists to work and some more nurses. What is the purpose of this exactly? When does this become relevant? I don't know, but I can only imagine it's going to be very important at some point. Now, one thing that's a little bit scary is it looks like we're going to be getting attacked any second now. In about an hour or so, the Germans will make a foray. It's very nice of them to be so very clear when they're going to attack. The rules of engagement are very gentlemanly. No, we're just getting intelligence reports. Request for food. HQ is asking for food. Well, we could give up some of our food, and they would give us some staff permits. Obviously, this is a way of getting some additional staff, so if you've got the resources, it's great. That said, we also just kind of spent, like, a lot of our food, so that's concerning. Yep, German attack. All right, give them no quarter. You can see a little thing here. Here come the Germans! Oh, get me, man, guys, save me! Save the hospital! Yeah, there we go. Oh, very violent, very upsetting. Yep, it's World War I after all. Trench warfare. Terrible, terrible thing. Whoa, where am I? I have no idea. There we go. All right. So we successfully defended. Hooray! And we are still strong when the next attack does come, which means most of my soldiers in rehab probably should be getting me requisitions. What is going on over here? Ooh, the advanced dressing station. Hello. Wait, we have 5 people wounded in the trenches. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. This is a thing I did not know because I am reaching kind of, where my playtesting sort of stopped for a little bit. We need to hire some more medic teams, it turns out. Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and order, I guess, 1, since that's all I can kind of fit at the moment. We need somebody to go and save the people who are in the trenches. We got 5. We can do that. I'll go ahead and assign 1 there, 1 over here. And this person can stay over here. So we're okay, but I'm going to need these medic teams, because every time we get attacked, this is going to become a problem. Go save them! Save them in the trenches! Bring them back! We'll take care of them, probably. Yeah, it looks like we are managing to drag the wounded back from the trenches. Which is good, but it means we just have more people I need to take care of. I'm not producing nearly enough food, and not quite as many medical supplies as I would like. Which is why we need more requisition forms, so I can order more stuff. Ooh, we have a VIP over here. That's a problem. He's going to take all of my energy to take care of him, too. Oh, Lord, you guys are going to make me make some difficult decisions over here, aren't you? Okay. Fast surgeries are ideal right now. This person's in good condition. What is going on? Oh, you need a different type of treatment, I think. You have shock. I don't think I have a way of taking care of you. Not yet. Well, we could try going to the camp improvements and see if we can get the trauma ward up and running. Oh gosh, I literally am not going to have enough doctors to take care of all of this, including some of these VIPs. Because they cost me way too much of my energy, and I have 2 doctors who are already going to be tired by the time that we're done with this. I have to allow them to work a little bit exhausted in order to even have a chance. And you need to be, the serious patient needs to be saved first, then you can rest, then you are already going to be exhausted. I have to allow that. Okay, we're definitely making some difficult decisions here, guys. Very difficult ones. Not to mention I'm over my dang capacity. Is there a way of actually boosting that up? I have no idea. Can we actually reduce the amount of rest time? Yes, another 10%. Honestly, considering the doctors are a huge bottleneck, that might be worthwhile. Oh, no, 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 not more patients. There's no more room. We're also out of raw freight materials to keep making our own supplies. And I've been watching my food steadily going down as well. Oh, this bodes real well. Real well, I tell you. Yeah, this is starting to feel a little bit frantic. I was feeling pretty good about our situation, but we're only in Chapter 1, and I feel like I'm getting completely overwhelmed here. And we are completely out of military drafts now because I'm going for as many upgrades as possible. Getting some extra housing space, and it looks like the Germans are attacking via artillery now. Oh, no, 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 no. All right, we're going to have more medic crews ready to go to the trenches. So, build a scout tent and request a scout team. I would love to. Are you going to find a way to get me some more personnel requisitions? So let's take a look at getting that scouting up and running. Maybe this is a way of getting myself some extra resources that I know I'm going to need. I am certainly trying to save as many people as I can here. Just feels like it's a bit of a losing battle. What's going on over here, by the way? Hold on. HQ, they want us to do something. Send an engineer. Sure, we will lose out on some stuff for a minute, for like food or whatever, but I desperately need those extra staff permits, so let's go ahead and do exactly that. Running low on food. Requisition animals, slaughter them for food. Lose morale, gain 32. Yep, that's worth it. I mean, I hate losing morale and all, but we'll live with it. That's fine. And this is why we've got requisitions, right? Let's go to the train station. We are going to get some additional food rations. 40 for 2 requisitions feels pretty good, if I'm honest. I think we're doing barely okay on surgical supplies, so we'll hold off on that. But this could be pretty helpful, at least. I could get a trauma specialist. No, I can't. I need 4 points for that. I can't even do that. Dang, 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 dang. All right, let's get ourselves another nurse. That's going to take all the points that I've currently got. And we have scout tents. I should have waited on doing that until I knew if I needed to spend anything on scouts. Maybe we're okay. Hold on. What do we got here? Smoke to ashes, ashes to dust. Suspicious cart on the road nearby. Forest wraith. Usual day at war. Let's start with this. I guess we must have... We don't have a scout team. How do I get scouts? Please tell me it wasn't a requisition form and I didn't just make a horrible mistake. Yes, it was. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. Well, hopefully we get some more of those soon. Starting to lose a fair bit of morale, by the way, as people die due to my triage efforts, which really surprises no one. Oh, no. All right. Well, we got to keep getting these requisition forms. The good news is I had enough people in the trenches, and I saved enough that I think we're still fine against the Germans, so I can really afford to send just about everybody I've got to just get me more of these forms. We need these drafts. Desperately do we need these drafts. Oh, and another German attack is coming. Of course it is. This is intense, actually, which is appropriate, right, for this kind of a game. I would think that the field hospital life is dramatic and full of tough choices and extremely difficult to work with, and yet here we are. And people actually had to do this. They still do in many places in the world, which is absolutely horrifying. So they deserve the utmost respect and admiration for this really difficult role. And another attack on the way. Oh, good. Wait, is this fire or is this gas? Looks like gas to me. Let me guess. We're gonna need a chemical ward now? I don't have a way of doing that, though. Uh-oh. Right, yeah, we've got 5 people now wounded in the trenches. I'm gonna try to save as many as I can over here, but I mean, if they're wounded with gas attacks, I mean, I don't even have the personnel requisitions that I would need in order to deal with their mental trauma, let alone actually get the other stuff. We look at our camp improvements here. We can see chemical wards exist. I would need a special physician, not a surgeon, not a trauma specialist, but a physician. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Germans may have him beat here, actually. Oh, thank God. All right, medical records. Oh, no, don't tell me you're gonna take a surgeon! All right, we have to wait for a minute. Hang on. Okay, hang on. You need to take care of this guy, then rest, then... Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay, hang on. Even if you're easy to cure, if you take a lot of my energy and supplies, I have to let you die. I'm sorry, this isn't how I wanted it to go, but it's how it's going. No, not more. Don't bring me more, for God's sake! Ah! Right, we have to send this surgeon, which means he's going to get truly exhausted, but I need those points, so we'll send him. And my people are now close to collapsing. Gosh dang it. All right, hang on. I've got to give them a chance to start recouping. You're exhausted. You move. Engineers, you're all sort of okay. You're the only people who actually are okay so far. Yeah, and here's the gas attacks. I have no way of dealing with this. I'm going to lose a lot of people here. I really am. Yeah, this is where my morale starts to drop a lot. Oh, boy. But at least the surgeon's about to finish with these medical records, because, you know, HQ has their priorities straight, for sure. Alright, so we get 2 more points. That's just 2. What can I get with 2? Well, I can't get a physician, and I don't think I can get a trauma specialist, so I mean, like, yeah. Can we get a scout, though? Yes, we can get a scout and 1 more medical team. Wait. Was the scout free this whole time? Oh, gosh, dang it. The scout was free, ladies and gentlemen. The scout was free. Okay. Well, the question is, do I need more medical teams, or should I save up to get myself some additional surgeons and or physicians and stuff? And the answer is I think we have to do that. I could have had a scout this whole time. I should have paid more attention. That's on me. Bunch of critical and terminal patients I have to get rid of. I'm not going to be able to take care of some of these people. There's just no stinking way. Oh, no. All right. We need to save as many as we can here. You'll be exhausted after that. You're currently resting. Go for fast and low energy people, ideally. You cost 4 energy. I'll be honest. Like, these things just look to me like they're probably not worth it, but we could try. Better to go for something relatively fast and more of a sure thing, I guess. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked at how effective this game has been so far at forcing me to play Triage in ways that I really didn't want to. But there we go. Kenneth Murphy just leveled up. You can level up? I didn't know you could level up. Well, that's cool. I'm going to have Kenneth Murphy tire significantly slower. Sure. And now my people are having special VIP requests. Guys, do you know how overwhelmed we are right now? I don't think now's the time to be making personal requests. Oh, good. It's a VIP in serious condition. All right. Well, we'll try. Are there any improvements I can make that would save my bacon right about now? More beds for patients in a rehab center and stuff. I mean, that sounds great. What I really need is more... Yeah, there we go. More beds in the casualty clearing station. I think we have to do this. It's going to cost an absolute ton to do this, but all right. And we have a scout. Okay. Wish I had done that a long time ago. Let's go find out what's going on in the smoke and the ashes and stuff. You're assigned. Go. This is our first scouting event taken care of. I wanted to make sure we at least saw one of these before I end this video. Following the smoke, the scouts find a small farm. It seems the buildings of the farm caught fire and are now burning out. A man with a badly burned body stands in front of the charred ruins, surrounded by 4 children. There's a corpse burned beyond repair. Or recognition, I should say. He learns the scouts are from the hospital. He asks if he could take his children there. He knows he'll be taken care of. In exchange, he offers what's left. Oh, no. All right, I'm going to try to take you all in. Not just the children, but the man, too. We've taken 5 citizens. Now, I'm pretty sure that these are people I have to feed, but don't help me in any way. So all I just did was took on an extra 5 food per day consumption. But we salvage 50 food, so that takes care of it for 10 days at least. And we also got 200 more freight. Also, a looting location has been identified. Well, that's interesting. Wait, I got a question. Am I able to treat people who have been hit by gas even though they're not the right kind of wards? Have I been able to treat them this whole time? I imagine it's extremely exhausting. That's probably why the energy cost is so high, but maybe we can actually do that. Ow. Well, okay. Great. If I do this, these people will die, though. These are the kinds of decisions you guys are making me do, huh? Oh, come on. All right, well, tell you what. I should have 4 personnel points now, so I can go here, hire personnel, and I am going to get a physician in just a minute. Just got to wait for this ward to be built, and there it is. All right, so now we'd be able to do this. I feel like as much as a trauma specialist is something we've needed for a while, getting a physician would make some sense since this seems to be a much higher urgency, because we are getting hit by gas attacks, and there are a lot of them, and they're more lethal, it seems, than the trauma. But wow, yeah, the decisions we're having to make here, man. This is an intense game, honestly. I knew it was going to be interesting and pretty intense just from the theme of things, right, and from the play testing that I had been doing. But I have to admit, the further I'm getting into recording this video, the more I'm really impressed that this is a stressful and kind of slightly upsetting game, which is the entire point of it, of course. And it does a really good job of capturing that sense of absolute frantic urgency as the wounded just keep piling in, and what the heck are you gonna do? Absolutely fascinating idea for a game, and definitely a test of your management and your strategic skills. And also just how much of this you're willing to take as a sucker punch to the gut as you assign more and more men to their death. Wowzers. All right. Well, once again, thank you to the publisher for sponsoring today's video. This was quite an eye-opening and fun and interesting experience. And of course, if you guys like what you saw and you want to try it out for yourself and learn more, well, of course, there will be that link in the description, and you should, of course, check that out. Otherwise, I would say thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.